I'm Tyrone and welcome back to Harrison Family Farm. I wanted to turn the camera on real quick and give you guys a bit of an update. As you guys recall from last week's video, I had planned to order some blades for our brush hog. And so I went ahead and did that, and the blades actually came in, and I'm going to show those to you now. And so this is what we got. And so unfortunately, they aren't going to work for us. These blades are actually a different style. The blades that I have on our brush hog here, they're just straight. They don't have this offset here that you see on these blades. And I really didn't see that online either from the diagrams that they had. And then I also noticed I took these bolts out there to the brush hog, and that's what really kind of gave me my first alarm, is that these bolts are actually significantly larger than the bolt that I have currently out there on the blades. So because of that, I'm not going to be able to use them. And so that actually puts me in kind of a pickle, just because I believe I mentioned to you guys in the last video as well that our youngest son, TJ, his birthday is coming up. He's turning 1 on the 13th. And so we're having a party for him, and we're going to be using that lateral field area. And I can actually show that to you guys just for reference real quick. I'm going to be using that area to kind of to host the party. That's where the party is going to be held at. And essentially we're just going to have some kiddie water stuff. It's going to be like an at-home water park essentially. And so this is that area right here. You guys see me cut it many times if you've been a long time watcher, but for those of you that are not familiar, this is what I am referring to when I say the lateral field. And so, like I said, blades came in. Blades are not the correct size. And so I'm actually walking up on the brush hog now. And so I'm really hesitant to continue to use it. And as you guys can see, that area does need to be cut. And so, as some of you may recall, I actually do have another brush hog here on the farm. For those that may recall, I actually have another brush hog here on the farm. The reason I haven't been using it is that because of the rear pivot wheel on the brush hog, it had broken. And so it's been broken for a while. I've tried to weld it a few times to no avail, and I'm not a welder. I don't know what I'm doing, and my welds look horrible. And so, I mean, you're actually going to get to see them here in just a second. I'm going to show you guys, because I actually attempted to weld it again. And in doing so, you know, practice makes perfect, right? So in doing so, I've learned some of my mistakes. I wasn't able to implement them because I learned them while doing this, but I'll show you guys what I did. Again, I'm not a welder, so I know it looks horrible, but you guys can see this had broken essentially right here. And some of this is old weld, some of this is new weld, so it's hard to differentiate. But I got it back on there. We'll see how long it lasts. But as far as some of my mistakes that I learned was with my welder, my settings, I didn't have them right as far as my wire speed. I did this with a flux welder, for those of you that might know what that is. But my wire speed was wrong. I had it too slow, and so I wasn't able to get a good consistent bead a lot of the time. And you can see where I started practicing, where I was getting the bead, making those adjustments or trying to make them. And another thing is, when welding this, I've just been welding historically the outside material. And so I really need to weld in between here and kind of build it out with the weld. And so that's been something I haven't done as well. And I think that's probably what's caused my biggest failure in the past. And I'll just be honest, like I mentioned before, I'm really not expecting this to hold up. I'm going to see if it does, but if not, it's going to do me a favor in breaking it. That way I can clean it up again and try to implement some of what I learned. But yeah, if I can't get it that time, I am just going to have to find some welder or somebody that can just weld this back on here properly for me. That way I can start using that brush hog. And actually, sorry guys, what I was saying, and actually it is my preference to use that other brush hog. That is actually my granddad's brush hog, the other brush hog that I've been welding on. And so it's a bit lighter than this brush hog I've been using. And so the tractor just operates a lot better with it. And so it is my preference to use it. I just haven't been able to because of that broke pivot wheel. But like I said, we'll see how we make out with it today. What I need to do first is I think I'm going to attempt to weld this muffler back on this tractor. I showed you guys last week, or I mentioned it anyway, that goat had weakened it, and then it finally came off. And so I think I'm gonna try to put it on real quick. Hopefully that doesn't take me long. And then after that, I'm gonna take the tractor down there, swap out brush hogs, and try to get this pivot wheel back on and see how far I can get with that. But yeah, let me get to it because I got a ton of stuff to do, and this is just a start. So I'll check back in with you guys a bit later. That looks horrible.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Can't twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. Just twist the body and mind. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh, baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite.
No, my weld is too high. It won't allow this to sit all the way in there. It might not be a huge problem given that the weight is weighing down on it, so it shouldn't have a reason to come up unless I lift the brush off too high. We'll see how it goes though. I'm gonna now get the brush off, this brush off back up top. My drive shaft, it's got like a bend or something in it, so it's slightly tweaked and I can't get it to extend to the gearbox. So I'm gonna go up there, get a hammer, get that worked out, and then just see what this is good. I might do a test cut real quick to see what the blades are like, see if I need to put an edge on them, and just make sure we're good to go. All right, guys, I don't have my mic, but I did want to offer an update. I went ahead and did a test cut. I know it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but let me zoom in. See out there, kinda. Let me see, where's my finger at? Right there. Over there is where I cut at. Zoom out. Right here too, you can see that pathway. And so it's cutting all right. I will say I like the other one better. And my pivot wheel is getting stuck in a few areas. It's not swiveling like it should be. And that is my fault because I have not greased it. It does have a grease cert on it. I don't know if it works or not. And so that grease cert's right down in here. As you guys can see, to prevent it from falling out, I took the welder and put a lip around here. That way this lip catches on here before it falls through, or before it's able to fall through. But one thing in hindsight I would have did is I would have pre-lubed this before putting it in here, and I would have pre-lubed the walls of this too. But now since I've welded that lip, now since I've welded that lip on there, I can't get this out without what I want to say, grinding it down, which I'm not going to do. So I'm gonna get some grease, see if I can find my grease gun, try to get this cleaned up, put some grease in it, and I'm also going to put some grease around this opening, because it is a bit of an opening on all the sides, if you can see there. Try to get some grease down in there as much as I can. Try to help it move a little bit. I might actually try to get it in the air, that way I can spin this back and forth freely to work some of that grease down into there. That way it's not steel on steel, and there's actually a coat of lubricant there to make it, or allow it to move freely. So that's pretty much where I'm at with it. I'm gonna take a quick break and get me something to eat. I'm out here looking at the dogs. That was Duchess, you guys just heard barking at me. And so take a quick break. I'm gonna get this cut. I'm gonna get in here in this dog pen too, get this cut. And then after I get it cut, I want to spray some insecticide on it, just as preparation for the party. I know you guys know that I've previously treated it, as well as some other parts of the lawn as well, but I'm gonna just treat it again just to be sure that we do everything we can to mitigate any insects and them just being troublesome during the party. So that's what I got up next. I'll check in with you guys later. All right, guys, so it's a bit later in the day, and I just want to turn the camera on real quick, give you guys a bit of an update. So I went ahead and cut some more over here on the lateral field. I didn't get finished because the tractor started getting hot, so I had to stop. But for the most part, it looks all right. Here it is. Here you see, well, I don't know if you could tell through the camera, but right there in the middle, I haven't gotten to. But the rest of it's cut. I did leave some tracks with that pivot wheel, but it's not too bad. It'll be all right. I did attempt to go to Lowe's and try to find a air filter for that weed eater, and surprisingly, they didn't have it. So, which is really surprising to me, because that's actually where I bought it from. So I was really expecting them to have it. I looked online, and I don't see anywhere that I can just readily get it. It's looking like it's going to be something I have to order from like Amazon. And even with them, it wasn't today. It was something a little bit further out. So we'll see how that goes. But I really hope that I can get it here before this weekend, because there's a lot of areas I want to clean up that lawnmower, brush hog just won't do. That weed eater is really the tool for the job. I also got in the not the cow pen. I also got in the dog's pen. And so you can see all that has been cut, minus I didn't get real close to our septic system or our tanks that are right there. I need to clean that up and see that. That's where that weed eater would come in. Also inside that kennel there, I need to get that weed eater in there and get that cleaned up too. And then also, like I suspected I would do, I end up breaking the pivot wheel again in the same spot. Like I said, it's really my weld. And now that it's broken, you can really see what I mean. See, I welded around, and I really need to weld in the middle and build out and go around, I really think, for what I've watched and seen. So it's going to be up to me now to clean up this mess that I've made around here, get all of this cleaned up, do the same with this part here, get this cleaned up. That way I can get it out of there, and also make a sufficient weld, hopefully, now that I have identified at least some of my mistakes. It's probably not even all of them. And I'll probably watch, some more YouTube videos and try to get a better understanding of what I'm doing wrong, and just go from there. But now it's been a few hours since I stopped cutting. The tractor's cooled off a bit, and so I'm actually going to go ahead and get back to it. That way I can finish up that little area that I got left, and at least be done with that. I got a few other things I want to get to today, and so let me knock this out. All right, guys, so there it is. I was able to get her all cut and cleaned up. And so just a few areas I got to hit with the weed eater. But other than that, we got her down. And like I told you guys before, same with over here. Just those few areas I need the weed eater. And then she'll be good to go. But guys, last week I showed you guys that I had discovered some sunflowers here on our property. And in the comments below, in the comments below, one of you suggested that I transplant them into the garden, and that was such an obvious idea that I did not have. And so I'm gonna take that advice of that commenter, and I'm gonna select a few of the sunflower plants and move them over into our garden. And I think I got a place for them in mind, probably just to the left of the sweet potatoes we just recently planted. And I think that'll be a good home for them. And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe we'll get 2 or 3 of them. I think that should be sufficient, and just see what comes of them. Like I mentioned before, we've had them on our farm, but I've never seen them come to maturity. And I think it will be cool to be able to witness that, to see if we can actually harvest some of the sunflower seeds. So that would be cool. And speaking of which, it's not just our garden that is blooming and sprouting. You can see this black walnut tree here is just full of black walnuts, just all in there. Hopefully that comes through on camera. And I was looking, and you look over here, just a little ways away. Where is it at? And this hedge tree, it's full of what we call horse apples or hedge apples, whatever you want to call them, but they're right there. Yeah, oops, moving too fast. See them right there to the right. But yeah, everything's blooming, blossoming, and growing. And that's just pretty cool. But I'm gonna go get what I need to get these sunflower plants dug up and then moved. And they're right back over there. You can kind of see them. So go get us a few of them and see if we can't get them in our garden. All right, guys, here's our sunflowers. I believe they're sunflowers. Actually, now I'm looking, I don't know that they are. I'm gonna I got this app called Picture This, and so I can take a picture of my phone and it will tell me what kind of plant it is. It's actually pretty cool if any of you guys ever find yourself in need to know of a plant or tree. But it's called Picture This, and it's a pretty cool app. It's free. But let me double check real quick. So I'm super embarrassed. I was wrong. Those are not not sunflowers. So as I got closer to them and actually visually inspected them, something was off to me, obviously. That's why I went to double check. And upon double checking, those are clove flowers. And so it's a weed. Not what I was expecting at all. Had my little shovel and everything. I was ready to get at it. So no go on that, guys. Yeah. Who knew? Obviously not me. So pressing pause on that. Dang, I actually wanted to stake out my tomatoes. I gotta show you guys. I am just blown away, to be just downright honest with you, about how many sorry, trying to close the dog's fence. Hey, Duchess. But like I was saying, I'm just blown away by the number of tomatoes we have. Like, it is really crazy to me. Our tomato plants have done extremely well. And so I'm gonna show you guys. So let's see. I forget how many I had the last time I showed you, but I counted up to almost 30 yesterday. Yes, almost 30. So go there, you got like another, what's that? That's 5 right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Coming this way, another grouping of 5 there, another 4 down there. Oh, got those 2 good big ones there, another 3 there. You go back off in there. I don't know if you guys see all those groupings. There's so many groupings, they almost look like grapes or cherries. So just tons and tons. I'm trying to get past some of these leaves so you guys can see. Watch my step. But yeah, there's more. There's some more. You get the gist. They're doing really well. Looks like some strawberries are trying to sprout down there. Our sweet potatoes have perked up. If you guys remember, they were kind of leaning on us a little bit, but they look like they're getting eaten up by some insects. I might get some sulfur and put on them just to keep them off of them. Peppers are looking perky. I haven't seen any I haven't seen any big blooms since that one that came up missing. And then I also noticed we've got some peanuts that are started up. So this is a peanut plant here, right there. Got one there, another one here. We got another one sprouted here. So I planted, I thought, quite a few, but I did some cleaning over here, as you guys may be able to tell. And I just fear I might have pulled some of them up. So I kind of held off. I was like, let me let the plants mature a little bit so I can clearly differentiate between weeds and my garden. But then over here, we got this big old fella here. This is another pepper. I don't see any blooms on it just yet. And then we got watermelon and some cantaloupe in here. And then I think I see one trying to sprout down there. See right there. So that's looking good, real good and healthy. I'm just impressed, really, guys, to be honest. Those of you that have watched the channel for a while, at least since last year, and really the past 2 years, I've had really small gardens, like, 2 plants, 4 plants at times. Last year, I know we harvested some tomatoes. We made a video about that, but to have all this is really just impressive to me. And this is still a small garden. Like, there's certain parts of the city I go to where I know people, just neighborhoods that I grew up in or whatever, or my grandparents were in. And so I drive by and these people have like massive gardens compared to mine, anyway. And so, like I said, I'm just really impressed by how the plants have done. As you guys know, the tomato plants we bought already as plants is what I'm trying to say. And so they've been doing really well. And even the ones that I got from that customer that I told you about, those are the rear 8 tomato plants, I believe. They're doing really well too. So I'm just really happy with it. But yeah, guys, I'm rambling. Anyway, I'm gonna try to find some steaks. I had some in mind. I gotta find out where I last saw them. And then I bought some twine wire that I'm going to use to stake our tomatoes, and that way we'll keep our tomatoes off the ground, keep them from spoiling. There was only about 2 of them that are actually touching the ground, so that's good. But I'm gonna try to find these stakes real quick, and if I do, I'll hop back on and we'll get those tomato plants staked out. by any means, guys. So if you see I'm doing something wrong, you got some pointers for me, be sure to leave them in the comments. Um, again, this is trial by error. So found my first plant. I'm gonna try to go ahead and get together. And I got to be careful not to step on my peppers while I'm working for the camera view. But let me see. There's my twine going around there. Here's my stake right here. And that should keep our plants, our fruit, in this case, off the ground. And so with that one done, we're on to the next. All right, guys, so I believe I've gotten everything off the ground. And it might be a little bit clearer now, so you guys might be able to see a little better as far as the tomatoes here. So yeah, guys, really, really looking good. And you guys let me know what you think about my staking job. I know some people don't stake. Let me know. Do you? Why or why not? But I am drenched. I'm gonna take me a quick second to cool down, and then probably get these animals fed. Make my way into the house for the evening, I think. No, that's not right. I'm lying. I just remembered Angela wants me to help her power wash the front porch. And also I think I'm gonna get a head start on cutting the grass too while I'm thinking about it. The regular grass. So that's what I'm about to get into. I'll check in with you guys either later today or maybe tomorrow. Actually, guys, that's going to do it for me on this week's video. I thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. Leave me a comment down below because I love to hear from you. Make sure you hit the bell notification icon if you haven't already. That way you're notified every time we release a new video. And also, guys, sorry it took me so long to get the video out. I actually finished recording on time, but the weeks have been so crazy that I never had time to edit it. So I'm just going to get it out. But more good things coming, guys. Hope you had a great week. And until next time, peace.